don't even know where to start. But yeah, hey. So I wasn't gonna send this. So I was just standing in my kitchen. I was making coffee. I don't know if you guys remember, but I was obsessed with coffee. And I was like, why not? It's been a long time since I haven't had a sip of coffee. So I'ma just, drink coffee. And first off, I spilled oat milk everywhere. Like full splash mess on the floor. The whole thing. And I just stood there staring at it like I couldn't move. And out of nowhere, you guys, like literally out of nowhere, I just started crying over oat milk. But obviously, it wasn't about that. It was everything. All the pretending, all the times I said I was fine when I wasn't, and all the times I smiled through shit I should have walked away from. And I realized I wasn't even leaving anymore. I was just performing for people, for social media, even for myself. I was basically lying to myself. I was trying so hard to look like I had it all together that I forgot what it feels like to actually be okay. And I remember the day before that happened, I was with my friend, right? And we went somewhere, and then it was a boy that was arguing with her, right? And me as a friend, I didn't stand up for her. I didn't like help her or anything. And when we were going back home, I noticed that she was so quiet, and I was like, and she told me, I was like, is something wrong? And she was like, yes. First off, you didn't defend me. You didn't even stand up for myself. You didn't even stand up for me. She was just so, like, I could see the disappointment in her voice. And me myself, I was just like, I'm so sorry. Like, I could have done something. Instead, I just stood there and pretended like I wasn't listening, because I could. And she's my friend, and she always stood up for myself, you guys. For what am I saying? She always stood up for me, even if people will start to hate her. It doesn't matter. She always stood up for me. And so I remember coming back that day and just crying, like full on movie tears scene, like just crying for like 2 hours straight. And then me, like, I had those thoughts of like, I'm such a bad friend. What am I doing? Why didn't I help her? Why am I acting this way? Why am I this way? Why am I so complicated? Why did I defend her? She always stood up for me, and this and that. And I was just filling my mind with this. And I don't know, maybe that's also why I was crying. And where was I? Oh, and the worst part is that I knew I had already had a moment months ago, like of where I realized all of this. I had a big self-awareness moment, and I told myself I was gonna change, but I didn't. I went back to the old habits, to people that drained me, to places that made me feel so small because I was comfortable, you know. It was so comfortable and it was familiar. And I think that's the moment that hit me the hardest. I wasn't clueless. I knew. I was just scared, and scared of what will happen if I actually choose myself. Because I think 6 months ago, I had self-realization already, so I knew what I was doing wrong, and I knew what I needed to change. But as I said, I didn't know how to change. So now I'm doing something different, I am doing something different and nothing major. I'm just choosing peace. And that means saying no, saying less, feeling things, letting go of being cool or unbothered or always put together. And I'm done lying to myself. Even if I'm still figuring it out, at least I'm not pretending anymore. Like, I can just not do that. For me, something like a big part of me tells me, like, girl, you need to stop pretending. Like, myself is telling me, you need to stop lying to yourself and you need to stop pretending. And once, I don't remember exactly when, but I think it was 2 weeks ago, I was talking to myself. Am I the only one that does this? I hope not, because I don't want to sound crazy. But I was talking to myself. As I was talking to myself, I just realized that I put too much pressure into myself. Too much pressure. I'm a perfectionist. I am always trying to look perfect. I, can never express my feelings and my emotion unless it is on my journal. And I just hate that, but I'm trying my best. At least I'm expressing myself through my journal, through music, through activities, and I'm actually trying my best to feel things, because for a very long time I told myself you cannot feel things. Like, if you love somebody, or if you're sad, if you're angry, you cannot express that. You need to be neutral. Like, you cannot express your feelings. But I'm trying as much as I can to start expressing my feelings, and kind of like starting to open up to people. I don't know, you guys, it's hard, and I get you, because it's not easy. And even if I'm still figuring it all out, at least I am not pretending anymore. And anyway, this is what actually makes me happy, because I'm not lying to myself finally, and I think I am having such a good time with myself. And actually, I went on a vacation, you guys. It was so amazing. I thrifted a lot with my mom. I had time with my sister, just two of us. Food, no phone, no music, no TikTok, nothing. My mood was just so good overall, and oh my gosh, I miss it so much. But yeah, I just loved that feeling, and I think I will never change that feeling for anything. But that's it, y'all. That's the little oat milk breakdown that woke me up. Maybe I was dramatic. Maybe I just needed, I don't know how to explain. Like, I was so heavy that I just cried, because it wasn't about the oat milk. It was about all the things that I kept inside that I couldn't handle anymore. So I just needed to let go somewhere. And then I cried on this oat milk situation. And if you've been feeling off, or like you're stuck in a loop, you're not crazy, okay? And you're not alone. And I'm just telling you that nobody's perfect. We go through things, and that's totally fine. I just want you to start feeling your emotions, to start, validating yourself and not lying to yourself and choosing yourself. And I love you so much. Talk soon, or maybe not. Maybe yeah. Yes. Well, I will see you next week. Okay? I will talk to you next week. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram, TikTok, because I don't know who's listening to this. Anyways, I love you guys so much, and see you in the next episode. Mwah.